welcome back to another episode of Inner Balance Solution. We are your hosts, Wangoi and
Caroline.
Yes, and this podcast is primarily centered on creating awareness on mental health disorders, especially in the workplace, and also with new moms,
Stay-at-home moms. Yeah, basically our women, us.
Exactly.
Yes.
So today we are diving deep into a topic that affects many of us, especially in the workplace, and that is anxiety in the workplace.
So maybe we start by defining what is anxiety. I think we all go through anxiety.
True, yeah.
And it's become such a common thing. It's like everybody has anxiety. Yeah. But truly, what's anxiety?
I think many people, first of all, don't know the difference between anxiety and panic. You know, when you're going to present something in front of people, you say, I'm anxious, I have anxiety. Is that really anxiety or is it panic? Anyway.
We'll dive deep.
We'll define.
Yes. So then how is anxiety defined, or what is it really? It's a natural and adaptive response to stress or perceived threat, right?
Perceived threat.
Perceived threat. So the threat is there, but it's not like when you face a lion and you're anxious.
Physical,
that's a lion and it will maul you. But anxiety is more of a hidden threat that you can't really quite see, but you perceive it as a real threat.
So is it can I pass it down to Ayuma?
I think so. I think anxiety is energy.
It's learned behavior.
It's a learned behavior. Yes, correct.
All right.
Many ways, including psychological, physical, and some psychological symptoms include excessive worrying, restlessness, difficulty concentrating, irritability, and then also anticipating negative outcomes.
So now you train your brain to have those negative thoughts. I'm going to fall, I'm going to marble my world and things like that.
Yes, correct. And then some of the physical symptoms also include things like, now what you were saying, panic attacks.
Yeah, sweating,
your heart is racing.
Yeah, what I'm doing now, I think I'm
What you're doing now. Your heart is racing. And we're over here drinking coffee, which doesn't help. Anxiety, however,
100% goes up.
Muscle tension, shortness of breath, even stomach discomfort and things like that.
True.
Yeah.
True. So it's very crucial to highlight what we experience in the workplace. When you're about to, especially with job performance, presentation, like you have a presentation to the board, things like that.
Yeah. So then how can anxiety manifest itself in the workplace? What does that look like? Like if you're in the office and you're experiencing anxiety, how will you know this is anxiety? Yeah, and then so that you can actually take an action to do something about it.
I think it's just the constant worry about your job performance. Like at 3 a.m. that is what you're thinking about. My performance. Especially if you work in sales, you know. You have
with those targets.
Exactly, you have targets. So constant worry about your job performance and then the fear of making mistakes.
Especially in the workplace, you almost feel like you cannot afford to make a mistake. Especially because mistakes at the workplace are costly. If you make a serious mistake, it could cost the company money. You know, your reputation also, you look like you don't know what you're talking about. So there's that level and element of perfectionism that comes with anxiety.
So we can also talk about feeling your workload, overload,
or overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And also, there's another good one that was saying it was also avoidance of social situations. So even in the workplace, you're avoiding situations that will put you in a situation where you have to be around people. So even if it's like, for example, if you're presenting maybe in front of people, or even work events, they make you nervous. You feel like, oh my, you're sweating, you can't really network or talk to people and things like that.
Even the fear of just thinking that you'll say something wrong.
Yeah. So
and replaying it in your mind, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's what you were saying, overthinking and rumination.
Yes.
Rumination. It's the word. And then, obviously, you struggle with articulating your thoughts. Yeah. So even when your boss asks you something or your coworker, you're struggling to put the thoughts properly so that you communicate what you're trying to communicate. Because the anxiety has just smacked you proper.
And your brain is fried.
Correct. The burnout. I think burnout is big. Because in the workplace, nobody sort of cares about your burnout.
It's true.
Yeah.
100%.
It's almost like if you feel like you're burnt out, you can't walk up to your boss and tell them, I'm burnt out, I'm tired, I need a break. What is that even? They look at you like, is it time for your leave? No. You took leave days before. Do you have time off? No. And so it's almost like, what do you do when you're feeling like you have no motivation, you're so tired, you're overwhelmed, you're worried because if you take time off, it might impact your productivity as well as your actually working. You might feel like you might get fired. Yeah.
The other day I was reading somewhere that says, especially if you suffer from anxiety, you know, the parasympathetic and the sympathetic. So the sympathetic is always on constant red alert.
Yeah.
So that's why you're tired most of the time. Fatigue, headaches, stress. Your shoulders are always like this. Instead of just relaxing,
you're tense.
You're tense.
You're tense. Yeah, that's your body warning you and almost being hyper vigilant at all times.
All times. Can you imagine? That's why you get burnout really fast.
Yeah, agreed. We do. I mean, if you're in the workplace and you're experiencing anxiety, something that I was thinking about when we were researching this topic is now you work at a place and that is the source of your anxiety. What can you do? Because are you going to quit that job? You can't quit. This economy is not going to allow you to quit a job.
It's true.
And if you go to the next place, what makes you so sure you won't be anxious at that workplace? So what are the things that we can do to help ourselves in the workplace if we feel like we're anxious persons?
The first one, I think, is having a separate work and personal life.
Okay.
I asked my mom the other day, Mom, do you carry work home? She was like, never.
Really?
I will never carry work home.
So she lives it.
Yeah, so you establish a healthy boundary.
Okay, boundaries. Boundaries.
Around your work things and personal life.
That's so difficult sometimes. Like I feel like for me, my job that I do a lot is in sales, and your sales job takes you everywhere you go. So like my car is my office.
Even your phone.
My phone right now. I'm like, it's not a sales call. It's a sales call. So it's very difficult to draw a boundary, but it's necessary because it's funny you say that because the phone is the lead to your next paycheck. So for you to put your phone down is you saying, no, it is enough. Even tomorrow is another day.
And there's also this thing where your phone also is a trigger for anxiety.
Source even.
It's a source. So now you end up putting it on silent or do not disturb.
Yeah.
So now if it's on silent, your employees or your employer can't get to you.
Yeah.
And they say what?
Why can't we reach you? Why didn't you answer my call? Or even clients. I sent you a message. Why did you respond in, I don't know, 2 hours or 3 hours later as opposed to now?
Imagine.
So boundaries are important. Boundaries are important. And the thing about boundaries is someone needs to tell me, you have to teach people how to treat you.
That's a treatable moment.
It is treatable. Teach people how to treat you. So even in the workplace and in your setting of boundaries, you have to teach your clients, your boss, your employees, your co-workers that, listen, it's 6 p.m. I'm done for the day.
I'm done and I'm done.
I'm going home. Because that's a really huge source of anxiety.
And also another thing is having, as we talk about work-life boundaries, your workmates are not not your friends. They are really not your friends.
Yeah.
So you need to establish outside of your work environment, you need to establish friends or family that can support you outside of work. So because think about a situation where your work ends, so it means also your friendship ends, your social life with them ends, and now you become lonely.
So are you saying then, don't establish friendships in the workplace?
What I'm saying, no, what I'm saying is your work mates are not your friends.
For you to know and realize that they're not your friends.
They're not your friends. Okay. They're your work mates. And it ends there.
Okay. Because that could be another source of anxiety. I'm thinking if you're intertwined with your workmates are your friends, and then you bring your home to your workplace, and then, like you're saying, the day you move out to a different place, you have no friends.
You have no friends, or if you get fired, you have no friends.
Yeah, they do. I mean, at the workplace, I think it's imperative for employers to have a system in place or something in place to kind of notice when your employees are burnt out, when their productivity has gone down. It's never really so much about sometimes that they're lazy or they don't want to work or something like that. We know there's always more to the story, right? Have a way of interrogating your employee. Not interrogating is a bad word, but cleverly finding out what is ailing your employees. If it's burnout, if it's anxiety, if it's some mental health issue, what do you have in place to mitigate these things? Because I think it's important, like a culture of caring that there's something is going on with my employee. Because at the end of the day, it impacts productivity,
exactly.
And impacts your business. Yeah.
Even other than just a HR system where they keep the employees in check.
Yeah.
Do we have psychologists who work in your company or with you or as partners who regularly keep checking your employees?
I feel like most employers don't care for that.
Is there an employee relation system?
Do we have that? Like
in Kenya?
Yeah, do we have that out there? If there's anybody out there that has this system in place, I mean, feel free to comment below and sort of have this conversation on, are there systems in place in workplaces that check on employees' mental health, state, so that before it gets too far, you can sort of help your employees. Because it's important. Yeah.
And then another thing is also very basic, is just mindfulness.
Yeah.
Taking a 5 minutes walk if you feel like you're overwhelmed with everything.
Yeah.
Or meditation.
Yeah.
Just having some time away from work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To pause. And it's okay to take a break. And I feel like this is going to be our messaging. We don't know this, but it feels like our messaging is always going to go to a place of, it's okay, first of all, to not be okay, and it's okay to take a break. It's okay to say, look, I am tired, I'm burnt out, I'm going to take a 2-day break, 3-day break, however, and feel empowered to be able to even walk up to your boss and say, this is how I'm feeling and I need a break. And or not even explain.
Not even I'm taking a break. I'm taking 3 days. And then I feel like you don't
need to explain it too much. It's actually taking ownership of your own health. Yeah. It's saying enough is enough. This is what I need and this is what I will do. So you're just feeling empowered to be able to do that, because some of these corporate workplaces, that's tricky. And
they will, if anything happens to you physically or your mental health, they will replace you in a second.
Girl, we know that for a fact.
They will replace you in a second.
It's a robot economy.
It's true, 100%.
Yeah, you will just be replaced.
You need to prioritize your mental health, your physical health.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed.
There's another question here, is what role can employers play in creating an enabling environment?
But that's to what we just said.
Okay.
Yeah. Systems in place, having a way to check on your employees. Now the mechanical steps of how that's done, we leave that to the employers. But even the awareness that it's important to have that in place is everything. And then a step is for them to actually do something about it. Yeah, not just talk about it and say, we care about you. Or, you know, we care about our employees, but then on the ground,
nothing, zero.
Do they really?
They don't,
Yeah.
I think also the other important thing is training the managers or the supervisors on how to handle such mental situations.
Yes.
How to handle stress with your employees, how to handle anxiety in the workplace.
Agreed.
And such. Just basic psychology, what is it called? Training.
Yeah. And if it's too much for for them to handle, even outsource. Feel free to do an ask high. Feel free to outsource people who have experience in the field to come through, have workshops, have you know, conferences where you invite these types of people to talk to your employees, create awareness, just talk.
And offer tools that, you know, the average employee can be able to use in an everyday based situation.
Agreed. Yeah, because I think to me that's showing you care. You know how a lot of employers say we care about our employees and stuff like that. Now taking that step shows me you care.
It's true.
And that would really help with even retention rates. People want to stay in a place where they're valued.
Productivity will of course increase. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
Do we have anything else on that workplace stuff? I feel like we've covered at least what anxiety is. Maybe some of the things you should look out for if you're in the workplace and are feeling this way, you perhaps have anxiety. What we always like to say is anxiety is a mental disorder, right? It can be described as a mental disorder according to the manual of DSM-5. For some of you who don't know what that is, it's a diagnostic manual for mental disorders. And so for it to actually be a mental disorder, it has to also cause clinically significant distress.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we also have to be careful with how we use some of these words out there nowadays. I have anxiety, I have anxiety. Well, you might be having situational anxiety because of like your workplace, environmental, maybe relationship, or the things that you're going through at that time.
Moment,
But for it to actually become a proper mental disorder, it has to fit a whole bunch of criteria, which we can do in our next episode.
Yeah, which we can.
Just so that you know that, listen, don't go around feeling like you have a mental disorder.
And tell your boss, hey boss,
I have a mental disorder. So, you know, it's also important to differentiate feelings of anxiety in the workplace and or is it now really a mental disorder where it's causing you significant distress, you can't function in other areas of your life, it's really taken over your life. Now that level you need to seek help.
You need to seek
professional help. You need to seek a counselor or a psychologist. You might need medication, things like that. But surface level anxiety, which we all go through, I think
it's true.
I was trying to research people who don't have anxiety.
No, I think because we talked about it and we said it's learned behavior.
Yeah.
So even fear of snakes, fear of these narrow spaces,
like phobias.
Yeah. That's also part of
learned behavior.
Yeah.
So maybe in the next episode or another time when we come and talk to you guys, we'll dig deep into the criteria for it being a disorder. But for now, we just wanted to touch on anxiety in the workplace, the basics and things like that. And we hope this has been helpful to you guys out there. What do people usually say? Click.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe,
share,
and click the notification bell.
Yeah, so that when we have a new episode, you will know about it. And
you're the first one to know about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you for watching. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye.